You are listening to Lifted You Weight Loss with Annie Jensen, episode number 23, Your Path Forward. Hello, darling. I'm Annie, and I'm here to connect with you. I know we understand each other. We show up, we live hard, and you and I do all of it, carrying the same burden. But here is the most beautiful truth that I've learned over years of struggling with my weight. We do not have to live with this burden. So come with me because you are not alone in this. I'm ready to share everything. My story, my friendship, and every piece of value I've gathered along the way. My purpose is to lift you as you move forward on your own path to light, loving, and lasting weight loss and build something that finally works for you. Darling, there is a life waiting for you on the other side of this process. So let's ease this burden. Let's build what's already within you. Together we'll create a lighter, lifted you. Welcome back to Lifted You, my friend. Can you believe it? We have made it to season 2. First of all, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. If you have been with me through season 1, you have done some incredible work. Some incredible identity building work. Season 1 was all about building your personal weight loss foundation. We laid the groundwork, we strengthened your mindset, we helped you see yourself a little bit differently. I see myself differently. We built your toolkit, and now we are ready to really start moving forward on your weight loss path that sits above that foundation. Season 2 is where the rubber meets the road. For both of us, for you and for me. We're taking everything we've learned and we're going to apply it to real life. One decision, one moment, one intentional step after another. You've built your foundation and we will always be working on it, always be developing and strengthening it. And now it's time to walk your path. So my plan for today is to show you exactly how I plan to use our foundation, our skills, and everything we've built to move forward to lose my last 15 to 20 pounds. But even more importantly, the focus today is for you to start putting together your own specific strategy and plan to really start moving forward in your own way for your own goals. So you should be able to walk away from our time together today with a basic idea of what really is going to work for you to start taking some more steps forward and start building some more momentum and really start seeing your doer develop herself in this area of your life. Maybe you are doing great and you just need to keep going with what you're doing. But if you need a little boost, this episode will help you with that. My focus for season 2 is to really start developing our weight loss doer, even more from where she sits today. Let's review who your doer is really quick. Remember, she is the existence of yourself inside your body, inside your mind. She is your essence, your perfect existence. She has nothing to do with your weight, with your experiences. She is you on the inside. And remember, she has natural strengths, things that she is just really good at, no matter what. And then she has characteristics and abilities that you have developed over time. That's your developed doer. And your weight loss doer is who we are working on developing here in season 2 together. Your weight loss doer wants to move you forward. She wants you to become that naturally thin, happy woman who's living on the inside, waiting to come out. So to develop that doer, to develop that part of you who just needs some attention and focus and consistency, let's start by reviewing the 6 pillars of doer support that we learned in season 1, okay? And we'll focus today on the one pillar that we really didn't touch a whole lot on last season. But let's review them all from the beginning. All right, the 6 pillars of doer support for your doer to be successful in weight loss are: number 1, a solid foundation. We just spent weeks and weeks working on that, and we will always be strengthening it, fortifying it, and supporting it. That foundation is key. Number 2, is an appealing vision. Remember, we need to have a vision ahead of ourselves that looks good to us, that we want to accomplish. But that vision also needs to be possible. We need to feel like we can achieve it. So pillar number 3 is a possible plan. So sure, we may want to lose 50 pounds, and that sounds really appealing and great to us, but if we don't feel like we can do it quite yet, then our doer is going to have a hard time moving forward. We need to make sure that our plan is appealing and that it also feels possible. Pillar number 4 is a clearly marked path. That's what we're going to focus on today and in season 2 together. We didn't do it as much in season 1, but that is our focus moving forward, a clearly marked path. Now that we have the foundation, we have the tools, we know what the skills are that we need to develop. What is our clearly marked path forward that we're going to take to get there? Pillar number 5 is those tools and skills. Now, we may not have all of them developed, but we definitely know what they are and how to access them, how to work on them. That's that layer of practical wisdom that we spent so much time on together. And pillar number 6 of doer support is unfailing support from those around you, however that looks like in your life and however you can find that in your life. But even more importantly, unfailing support from yourself. That looks a lot like love. Making sure you are creating that supportive environment for yourself, that loving support and approach from yourself will be really important. And I'll always try to provide that for you here. If you need to feel the love, you come here. All right, so our focus is moving forward on our weight loss path, and let's make sure that it's clearly marked. That's what we're going to talk about today. Now, I'm going to share my goals, my plan, and while I'm doing that, will you please look inward a little bit and apply it to yourself? What next steps do you need to take to start moving again or to keep moving to make progress in your weight loss? So imagine yourself standing on your concrete path, okay, looking out ahead of you. It's light and bright and sunny. You've got that beautiful, fresh, sparkly sidewalk, remember, that we created, and your foundation is beneath you. Now, looking ahead, what does your weight loss path look like for you in your life right now? For me, I have 15, maybe 20 pounds to get to my goal weight. I will be healthy there. I will feel good. I'll be able to wear whatever I want. I will have finally gotten there. That's what it looks like for me. So I need to create a clearly marked path from my doer, my weight loss doer today, to my future self in 15 to 20 pounds lighter. Now, is it appealing to me to think about being at that 20-pound lighter version of Annie? Absolutely. Now, how do I make that feel possible? Now, thinking of losing another 20 pounds does feel possible to me, but it also still feels a little bit heavy, a little bit out there. So what I'm going to do to make that appealing vision feel a little more possible is break it down into 5-pound increments. Can I see myself losing 5 pounds? Yes, I know I can do that. I know exactly what to do for myself to do that. So what does that look like for you? What's your next appealing vision with a possible plan? Now, how specifically am I going to get there? Let's talk about the specifics. For me, I need to decrease my sugar intake, and I can do that. And I believe if I keep myself at about a 0 on the hunger scale, day in, day out, the weight will come off for me in a reasonable amount of time. Not too fast, not too slow. And a 0 on the hunger scale where you don't feel hungry, you don't feel full, that's manageable for me. That feels possible. I feel light when I'm there. It feels good. It doesn't feel too restrictive. I am tired of being restrictive to myself. I grew up in the 90s. I have done that my whole life. Like, this is what we're doing for the next 2 weeks. I'm not going to do this or this or this or whatever that looked like. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be the person who believes that she can have whatever she wants and be responsible and appropriate with it. I am tired of restricting and then feeling like I failed and having to start over. I just want to be me who lives this way. Remember when I shared the power phrase of it's okay to be okay? That is exactly what this means. I want what I eat and how I live to be my choice. I want to be able to have a little of whatever I want and be okay with just a little and feel and know that a little bit is enough. It's okay to be okay. The old me would kind of panic inside and say, oh, but I'm not going to be able to stop. I'm not going to be able to eat one mini Snickers or whatever. It's okay to believe that I can be that person. It's okay to let go of my old self and be that person. I'm tired of living in that conflicted space between what I want most in my life and then what I want in the moment. And it is still hard sometimes, but it's okay for me to become present and to take a little step of change and embrace a new identity. We'll work on this concept of it's okay to be okay more. I know that might be a little hard still, but it is okay for you to be okay in this new identity, this new space of being okay with less food. So moving forward, losing this last 15 to 20 pounds, my mindset is going to be that what I eat is my choice. I can have a little of whatever I would like, and that can be enough for me. It's okay for that to be enough for me. That makes it feel more possible for me. If I know that I can have a little bit, then it's my choice and I am not battling these rules that I have set for myself. Okay, that's how I make it feel a little bit more possible for me, is by not restricting so much and making it my choice and believing in myself that I can make a good choice. Okay, so far I have minimal sugar because my body really does well with minimal sugar, and my hunger scale staying at a 0 and working in 5-pound increments. That all feels appealing to me and it feels possible, and it's absolutely going to move me forward. Remember, those are the 3 components of your foolproof weight loss plan. It's appealing, it's possible, and it moves you toward your goal. And I can adjust as needed. If I don't see progress, then I might have to stay between a -1 and a 0 on the hunger scale and wait for my body to adapt to that. So I may feel that discomfort for a while. Now, what are some appealing and possible steps that you can take, even over just the next week until we meet again? Think of those for yourself, okay? Now, what else specifically am I going to do? What else feels appealing and possible that will take me closer to my goal weight? I love walking, and I can do some strength training. I can either do it at the gym or I have a little room in my house that has weights. I can do that too. That feels appealing. It feels possible, and it moves me. Now I just have to do it. And that may not always feel comfortable, but that's where my doer steps in and I can just do it. All right, let's talk about a few tools and skills that I will need to employ to make this happen. All right, I talked about my hunger scale. I need to focus on my sleep hygiene. We all do so much better with better sleep. So sleep hygiene is a routine. It's a management system that ensures you're taking care of yourself. Sometimes, especially because I have teenagers that I'm waiting up for at night, my sleep hygiene can struggle. And I can't change that. I need to be up for my kids when they get home. But I can still take steps and make sure that I'm taking as best care of myself as I can when it comes to sleep. A tool I can always use and always be better at using is becoming present and asking myself, what do I need in this moment? I can recognize when my lower brain is wanting to take over. I can recognize bugs in my thinking. Come present and make sure that I'm thinking clearly, that I'm seeing whatever situation I am clearly, and then I can make an intentional decision and let my doer take over and move. I'm going to have to do that in my life to lose these last several pounds. I'll have to do it in the morning when I maybe don't want to move my body so much. I'll have to do it in the evening when my snacky brain starts getting chattery. I'll have to become present and recognize the behavior that's going on. Rise above it. Remember, connect with my essence. Recognize that I am not what's going on. I don't have to do the same things I've always done. That's not me. Connect with my essence and then make a little appealing and possible plan and move forward. I am going to try to employ the tool of indifference. And we'll talk about this more. But rising above and becoming indifferent to a situation is such a great tool. Sometimes it can be hard, but if you all of a sudden tell yourself, I actually don't really care about that cake very much, or it might feel uncomfortable to get up earlier than I was planning so I can go on a walk before work, but you know what? I don't really care about it. I'm just going to do it. Transcending above the discomfort or opening your arms to it and embracing it or just patting it on the head like it's no big deal, that is indifference. Indifference is amazing. I can remind myself that I am indifferent to cigarettes. They don't tempt me. I don't care about them. If I can take that mindset and shift it and direct it towards something that may be a little bit more challenging for me, that helps me do it. I can choose to be indifferent to things that get in the way of my weight loss progress. And I will share how in my daily life I've had to employ these tools and skills, okay? I'm really going to try to develop and apply some automation in my life, some habit development where good habits just roll out and become more of my daily routine. I plan to use the phrase, no thank you, the power phrase, no thank you in my life. That helps me rise above any situation and deflate the power that some situations have had in my life in the past. My lower brain offers the idea of popping popcorn when I don't need it. No thank you, I'm okay. My comfy self wants to stay in bed and be on my phone for a while. No, thank you. I'm okay. What I need for myself and to make progress is to get up and make my bed and go for a walk. Now, what power phrases, what ideas do you have for yourself to help you make progress this next week? What does that look like for you? Maybe you're a person who really does like to track your food and write down what you're eating. I am not. I really enjoy this hunger scale because it helps me use my real body systems the way that it was designed for myself. Tracking things is like the opposite of the way my brain was designed. Some people thrive with that, with writing things down and keeping track. That is just so overwhelming and tiresome for me. So I have to be diligent with this hunger scale. I got to be good with it, but I believe that I can do it. But if tracking your food works for you, absolutely do it. Now, as we get a little closer to wrapping up here, I'm going to repeat a few of these tools and skills that I am going to apply over the next several months. If one of them speaks to you, I want you to grab it today in the moment, okay? And use it to move forward on your path. We talked about a behavior recognizer. We talked about becoming present in the moment, rising above the situation that you're in and seeing what's really going on in your brain and in your world around you, what's really happening. Take a beat, step out above your situation and see it for what it really is. Then you can make a decision and move forward. What can you become indifferent to? What can you deflate the meaning out of? What can you take as an obstacle on your path and just flick it out of the way? What might be in your way that you know that you actually can really handle? For me, night snacking or evening snacking. I'm okay without it. It wants to make a big deal. It wants to remind me that it's a big deal in my life. But I can be like, you know what? Thank you, but no thank you. I'm actually good. Ask yourself the question, what do I really need? Is there something in your life that you need to pay a little bit better attention to? That if you put your focus on that, the weight loss actions will be a little bit easier. What need can you meet for yourself that will make moving forward on your weight loss path feel a little bit easier? That's a question you're going to really have to answer for yourself. But if you can do it, it'll make a big difference. For me, always being more organized and more intentional makes my life feel a little bit easier. And then taking steps on my weight loss path feels a little bit less resistant. Think about your own sleep hygiene. What changes can you make there? And what can you make feel a little bit more automatic in your life that will naturally carry you more forward on your path? What is your lower brain offering you that you actually know you don't need? What can you say thank you, but no thank you to? What can you say that to this week? Okay, I'm going to go over my specifics, my appealing and possible plan real quick one more time. While I do that, will you think of your own? Moving forward on my path, I'm going to take it in 5-pound increments because that feels appealing to me and it feels possible. I'm going to lower my sugar intake significantly and stay at a 0 on my hunger scale. That means less food, but it also means not terrible discomfort. So I can live there. I can stay there. I'm not going to restrict certain kinds of foods. If I want a little bit, I'm going to let myself have it and then trust myself and know that I can be the person who lives with less of that in her life. That's how I'm going to maintain the weight loss. I'm going to lose the weight in the manner that I know that I can live after it's gone. No more yo-yoing and bouncing back and forth between restriction and then doing whatever I want, eating whatever I want. I am going to employ more walking and strength training. And then we talked about those several tools and skills that I'm really going to work on making a more prominent and intentional part of my daily life. And I believe if I do that, I'm going to start to see the scale move down. I typically weigh in I weigh every day, but I will do an official weigh-in on Saturdays. So I'm happy to share that here with you with how that is going and then make adjustments as needed. So here we go. I am excited to make some real progress again. I have been making it slowly, but this will give me a good oomph to really push to the end. Darling, it's time. It's time to use and develop this foundation that we spent weeks working on together and to start really moving on this weight loss path. Time for some final thoughts. This last week, as I was thinking about the last episode and the power words and phrases I shared, I thought of one that I didn't share with you, and I'm going to share it today. It is so great. It's actually quite beautiful, and I first heard it when I was sitting in that therapist's office working with the moment in middle school where that boy told me in front of the science class that my thigh was big enough to feed an Indian tribe. Okay, awful. There were many, many insults, but that was the worst one. And if you haven't heard that story, go back and listen to episode 10. Now, understandably, that moment lived in my memory, it lived in my mind, and it lived in my heart for years, for decades. And what that therapist did that day was help me extract the meaning out of it so that it didn't mean what it meant for so long. She removed that giant obstruction in my mental processing, that huge bug that had been living in my brain. And one of the ways she did that was to have me close my eyes and to picture my sweet 13-year-old self standing in that classroom that day and to tell her thank you. To tell her thank you for getting me where I was today, for moving through that moment, for moving through those hard times in my life, for rising above, pushing through, and still becoming the amazing person that I am today. And yes, it's okay to call yourself amazing every once in a while because you are. She told me to tell my 13-year-old self thank you. And I did. And I remember when I said it in my mind, I said it to my 7th grade year old self. I said thank you to her. I said it with my eyes closed. When I opened my eyes after doing it, these big tears that had been brimming with my eyes closed just rolled down my face. And in that moment, I realized how incredible 13-year-old Annie was. And that 13-year-old Annie is the essence of me. That 13-year-old Annie is now still inside 44-year-old Annie who's talking to you today. I'm so grateful to her for how she lived through that hard time in middle school and how she still was able to live this beautiful life. and get me to where I am today, where I have finally come to a place where I can talk to you about it and share this part of my life that has felt so heavy for so long, but now feels lighter, and it feels like something that I can offer to others. So will you think back to any version of yourself, anywhere on your life timeline? Think about yourself. Think about a time that was hard. Think about you in that moment. Will you close your eyes and will you thank her for getting you through it? Will you thank her for getting you to where you are today? And then will you remember that you who got you to where you are today is the you that is still living inside you today? She has gotten you this far in your life. She has done everything for you. She has made it through things that were hard, and she's created beauty, and she has created and given you this life. So will you tell her thank you? And then will you remind yourself that the doer who made it through the hard times in your life and brought you here is the same person, is the same you that is going to take the steps necessary on your weight loss path to get you there. She can do it. Look at everything she's done in your life. Tell her thank you, and then let her help you move forward, starting with this little basic plan that we've put together today. Okay, my darling, I am excited to get started this week, to have a little push, to work a little harder, to make a little more progress, and I will report back to you. Think of some steps to take for yourself, and we'll get more specific, we'll make more plans, and we'll keep learning how to take these steps forward together. Take care. I'll see you soon.